Welcome back to Hidden Chapters, where every story has a lesson worth remembering. Let's jump right in. The morning sun lit up the green valley forest as animals rushed toward the biggest event of the year, the Great Forest Challenge. Everyone crowded around the starting line, buzzing with excitement. Oh man, this is going to be awesome. Among the crowd stood Ricky Rabbit, the fastest runner anyone had ever seen. He stretched confidently, flashing a grin. Come on, guys, Ricky laughed. Let's be real. Nobody here can beat me. The squirrels rolled their eyes. The deer shook their heads. Even a fox whispered, "This dude talks way too much." Then, from the back of the crowd, came a slow but steady voice. "I like to race." Everyone turned. It was Tommy Tortoise. Silence. Then, the entire forest burst into laughter. No way. Did he seriously say that? A tortoise? Against Ricky? Ricky laughed the loudest. "Buddy, you'll still be crossing the starting line while I'm eating lunch at the finish." Tommy smiled calmly. Maybe. His answer confused everyone. He wasn't angry. He wasn't embarrassed. He simply believed in himself. The wise old owl stepped forward. "Enough talking. A true champion proves it on the track." The crowd cheered. The race would begin tomorrow morning. That evening, Ricky threw a huge celebration. Music echoed through the trees. He showed off tricks. He signed leave for young rabbits who admired him. "You already won," one little bunny shouted. "I know," Ricky smirked. Meanwhile, Tommy quietly walked home. He polished his old running shoes, packed a tiny water bottle, looked at the moon, and whispered, "I don't have to be the fastest. I just have to keep moving." The next morning, hundreds of animals lined both sides of the trail. The race started with a loud horn. Go! Like a rocket, Ricky exploded off the line. Dust filled the air. Within seconds, he completely disappeared. The crowd gasped. "Whoa, he's insanely fast." Far behind, Tommy took one slow step, then another, then another. No panique, no ruse, just steady progress. Halfway through the race, Ricky looked behind him. Nothing. He laughed. "I told you guys." Then he spotted the biggest oak tree in the forest. I've got plenty of time." He stretched, lay down in the cool shade, closed his eyes. Just a quick nap. What could possibly go wrong? Little did Ricky know, this tiny decision was about to change his life forever. The forest stayed loud with excitement as animals raced along the trail to watch both competitors. Ricky's got to be at the finish by now. Yeah, this race is basically over. But when they reached the giant oak tree, their jaws dropped. Ricky Rabbit was fast asleep. One squirrel tried to wake him. "No way. He's actually napping." A raccoon shrugged. "Guess he thinks he's already won." Meanwhile, Tommy Tortoise kept moving. Step, step, step. His breathing stayed calm. His eyes never left the finish line. As he reached a small stream crossing, a family of ducklings struggled to get across. One tiny duck slipped on a wet rock. Without thinking twice, Tommy stopped. "You okay, little buddy?" The duck nodded nervously. Tommy gently pushed the little duck back onto the path. "Take your time. You got this." The mother duck smiled. "Thank you." Most racers would have kept going. Tommy simply replied, "Winning doesn't mean much if you forget to be kind." The animals watching nearby exchanged surprised looks. "That's pretty cool. He's slower than everyone, but he's got a big heart." Far ahead, the warm breeze finally woke Ricky. He stretched and yawned. Best nap ever. Then he looked toward the finish line. Wait, why were so many animals running past him? "Guys, what's going on?" Nobody answered. A chipmunk finally shouted, "Dude, Tommy's almost at the finish." Ricky's ears stood straight up. What? No way. His heart started pounding. He blasted off like a rocket, kicking up clouds of dust behind him. This can't be happening. The entire forest turned toward the sound. Ricky's coming. He's flying. The finish line was now only a few hundred yards away. Tommy could hear Ricky getting closer. Very close. The crowd screamed louder than ever. "Run. Keep going. You got this, Tommy." Ricky was gaining fast. Every leap closed the gap. His confidence had disappeared. Now, there was only panic. I was supposed to win. He pushed harder. One jump, then another. Only a few feet separated them. Tommy didn't look back. He remembered something his grandfather once told him. Don't race against others. Race against the person you were yesterday. He smiled, then took another steady step. The finish line was right there. The entire forest held its breath. Would speed finally catch patience? Or was history about to be made? The finish line was only a few steps away. The entire forest stood frozen. Nobody blinked. Nobody even breathed. Ricky Rabbit was flying across the trail, kicking up dust behind him. Come on, he whispered. Tommy Tortoise stayed focused. One more step, then another. The crowd erupted. Let's go. You got this. Ricky launched himself forward with one final leap. For a split second, it looked like he might actually pull it off. But then, thump, Tommy's front foot crossed the finish line. A heartbeat later, Ricky landed just behind him. Silence. Complete silence. Then the forest exploded with cheers. No way. He actually did it. Tommy won. Birds filled the sky. The deer stomped the ground with excitement. Even the fox couldn't stop smiling. Tommy had done the impossible. Not because he was faster, because he never gave up. Ricky stood there, breathing hard. His ears dropped. His confidence was gone. I lost. For the first time in his life, nobody was cheering for the fastest rabbit. They were cheering for the tortoise who refused to quit. Ricky slowly walked over to Tommy. The crowd grew quiet again. Everyone wondered what would happen next. Ricky held out his paw. I'm sorry. I spent more time showing off than preparing. I laughed at you before the race. I thought winning was guaranteed. Tommy smiled warmly and shook his paw. We all make mistakes. What matters is what we learn from them. The wise owl stepped onto the stage and raised Tommy's trophy. Today's winner isn't just the fastest mind. It's the strongest character. The crowd applauded louder than ever. That afternoon, something surprising happened. Instead of celebrating alone, Tommy invited Ricky to share the victory meal. You don't have to sit by yourself, Tommy said. Ricky looked shocked. After everything I said, Tommy nodded. Kindness is always stronger than pride. From that day forward, the two became training partners. Ricky still ran incredibly fast, but now he trained with discipline instead of arrogance. He encouraged younger animals instead of mocking them. Whenever someone doubted themselves, Ricky would smile and say, "Trust me, don't quit." Small steps every single day can beat natural talent that's wasted. Years later, young animals no longer remember the race as the rabbit who lost. They remembered it as the day two competitors became friends. Natural talent can give you a head start, but discipline, humility, consistency, and kindness are what lead to lasting success. Never underestimate someone because they move at a different pace. Keep showing up, keep moving forward, and your persistence can accomplish what talent alone cannot. Asterisk. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe to Hidden Chapters, and share this video with someone who needs a little motivation today. Until next time, remember, every chapter has a lesson waiting to be discovered.